Ooh, I'm sorry. Welcome back. Or actually, I'm back. And another vlog again. Of course, this one's I actually referred to a couple comments and blogs I did on the difference between Black Americans and African Americans. And I read a couple comments on there. A couple people in particular wasn't sure what I was talking about, and I wrote a couple explanations down, but after writing a couple explanations down, I told myself, well, I probably need to go ahead and do a reprise of what I'm talking about in particular. Now, first and foremost, um, just letting you know, I did do an example piece using historical figures. I did two parts of that, and follow up to that, I believe, on the difference between African American and Black American. Now, reason I brought this subject to light because one, I feel it's a difference. Now, before I go further on, I specifically, and I remember saying this in my last vlog related to this, that I was talking about American natives that are Black in particular, not necessarily the Caribbean people or the African immigrants. Just particularly Black, native born American lineage. And I felt like there was a difference in I used and as I developed, over the years, as I observed over the years, and dealt with people, different types of people, and how they view themselves or how they viewed other people, came to a conclusion that there was a difference, a different mindset, that you had Black people or colored people, whatever you want to call it, that were Afrocentric minded type people, African minded, and you had the ones that were Black. Now, basically, what I mean is, I like I said in my last video, I use examples like Malcolm X. I've categorized him as an African American because historically and basically his contributions to history reflect more of Pan-Africanism, more of even though he had like Martin Luther King, who I categorize as Black American, had similar interests for their people. At the same time, they wasn't on the same page. I don't think they was on the same page at all. I'll be honest with you, I think, Malcolm X, like I said, more of an African American in this relating video definition, was more of actually, the group he was involved with at the time, Nation of Islam, more of a separatist, preached separatism. Didn't really seem like the type Martin Luther King or anybody who followed Martin Luther King was. A lot of people try to compare the two, and I wouldn't compare. I never saw this to compare, but this is from the last video I did related to this. That's what I used. I also used Booker T. Washington, Webb Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, Booker T, a couple other people, but I just use those as an example, but hopefully I try to clarify it more. I think I got a couple people understanding from some of the notes I got back, but like I said, I think there's a difference because you do have Black people out there that want to be successful. They ain't worried about white men putting them down. Some folks joke about it and stuff, but I personally, I ain't gonna waste my time so-called fighting for a struggle where everybody has their own personal struggle. At the same time, you gotta be like, I hear people about, you gotta help a brother out, you gotta support Black businesses, you gotta do that, and I'll be like, well, that's another thing, Black business. There's definitely a difference between African American and Black American, especially related to business, because I saw a couple vlogs and videos and newspaper articles about Black business, especially like the hair care business and stuff, and the sensitivities around it. Talking about Asian people brought up the hair industry and doing this and doing that, and you do have conspiracy theorists and stuff, but at the same time, you gotta look at economics this way. I mean, everybody loves money. You know, the only color that matters when it comes to economics is green. You know, yeah. So far, the only people I know that complain about business are usually Afrocentric minded people. I mean, not trying to separate people or anything. I'm just saying it's just a black person, a true black American person who's about something, they're about their business. They try to figure out ways to become successful. And like I said, I'm not singling anybody out. It's just clarifying as is. And the reason, like I said, when I did the blogs before, I was categorizing because I felt like the term African American didn't really fit black people here in America. You have people like Beverly Smith. She has her own radio show, and I listen to it every now and then. I don't really listen to it too much because she don't really relate to me. She relates to certain people, and I listen to her very carefully. I listen to the words that she say. She say sometimes. Africans in America, or black this, black that, black this, black that, and I listen very carefully because I have to think, is she talking for black people? Because she definitely, I know she's talking about black people, but she's talking about for black people or for only black people. And because you do have people that have the forest bias attitude, which is not necessarily the best thing to have. And like I said, that's why I feel like they were more of the Beverly Smith, I believe her name is, radio host, is more of an African-centric mentality. Now, doesn't mean that, I know some people say, well, why you want to deny Africa? Why you just want to call yourself black as a color? To me, yes, black is a color, but you got to go beyond just the color. I mean, you go anywhere around the world, when people describe themselves, you can go to England, and if the police want to see black, description wise, black is a common term. It became so common that, some people took it too sensitivity of the word black. They took it and made it, or I gotta say they made it. They want to make it more negative than it is. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. Can't remember his name or her name. I think it was him. It had to have been him. But I have a question to ask him. You say there's not, or actually I'm not going to quote what you say. Well, I'm trying to say my own words is, in referring to one of the comments you said about African Americans. I'm like, one, I'm not denying Africa. I'm not trying to deny Africa. I'm not trying to encourage that. What I'm trying to point out is, from a nationality standpoint, meaning that like most black Americans here, or most American people here, don't really acknowledge nationality first. They don't come with the mindset nationality first. It's more race first, because it's been so divisive for a long time. So if you have an outsider that comes in, they're not used to that. Most black folks that I know, to be honest with you, growing up, don't know the difference between nationality, ethnicity, race, or culture, or whatever.